All right, what is going on? So this is going to be my first rigging video, and I'll just start off by saying if you hear some background noise, I apologize, because getting some tree work done today, and the guys are cutting up trees and grinding stumps and blowing, so apologize for that. But yeah, this is what we're doing. We're going to install this cargo net on the back side, the underside of this hatch right here. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to go like that. All right, so neat way just to create a little bit more storage in the boat. You could pack some planos, you could pack rain gear, water bottles, whatever. And this, I have a bonafide 127, but this will apply to any kind of boat that has a hatch opening like this. You'll just obviously have to buy a net. You'll take your measurements and then order a net that matches your hatch. So yeah, here we go. So this I got off of Amazon, and it came with these plastic hooks here, and so they just attach like that. Now, one thing I'm not going to be using from this kit are these screws here that they gave. Instead, what I'm using, and I'll show you why. I'm using these guys right here, and the reason for that is that you put this in there, and then I'm going to have a lock washer and then an acorn nut. And if I use the screws that came with it, it just wouldn't be as nice, and I wouldn't be able to get the acorn nut on there. So anyway, basically what's going to happen is this will get, I'll drill a hole right here on the outside coming in. Oops, dropped the screw. So basically it's going to hold in place like that, and I'm going to do that for every corner. And then I also have some clamps that I bought. I'm going to drill some more holes here and here. With this one I'll probably just reuse this hole, and then I'll drill another one here, and then I'll use those plastic cable clamps that I bought, which are these right here. Okay, 1/4 inch. Real quick, this is what I'm going to be using. These are the lock washers, the acorn nuts that'll go on the inside of the hatch. And that's pretty much it. So I'll be right back once I start drilling these holes, and then see you soon. All right, so I'm just gonna line it up, eyeball it. I'm not going to start taking measurements and all that stuff. But one thing you got to keep in mind is make sure you're going to have enough room to close your hatch. I'm just worried about over here, these corners coming in contact over here. So just leave yourself some extra space. Make sure you're good. And then, like I said, I'll just eyeball it. Right about there, looks good. And I'll make a little mark with my drill bit, score it, just so I can see where it is. All right, I see that right there. So line it up, just take one more quick look at it. That looks good. All right, and let's get drilling. What I went and did is just mark the holes where I'm going to start drilling. Definitely won't be able to see that on camera, but yeah, I'm going to take the center punch here, and you could use anything. You can use just screwdriver or nail or something, just to make a little depression, just so your drill bit won't start walking on you. Less likely to happen on plastic than metal, but I always like to use a center punch. So mark my holes. I'm just gonna give that a few strikes there, so leaves a little depression. All right, do the same thing up here. So on the bonafide, this cord, I think this might be spectral cord, I'm not sure, but I'm going to loosen this, and I'm actually going to reuse this hole with a different style clamp, just so I'm not drilling more holes, and it's going to be less visible screws later on. And there goes that nut. But yeah, just going to take this off, and then I'm going to replicate this hole on the other side. Alright. I have all my holes marked. I'm going to start making some holes. Now I'm using a 9/64 drill bit. It's probably not going to be big enough, but it's better to start off small and have to drill a bigger hole than drill too big of a hole and be screwed later on. So just going to make all my holes now. I ended up going with was the 3/16, and that is perfect. It's a perfect fit there. And real quick, shout out to Milwaukee for making this awesome case where it's almost impossible to get these drill bits out. Love that you know, have all the sizes there, and the drill bits even have the sizes etched in there. But damn, these are hard to get out sometimes without ripping up your hands. I mean, they're sharp, but yeah, thanks Milwaukee. All right, so next step is I bought these screw covers, number 8 from, you can find these anywhere from your big box stores. I got mine from Home Depot. But basically what this is going to do is this is going to sit on the outside of the hatch. When the screw goes in, it's going to make it a little less visible. So it's nice, it's clean. You won't see the stainless steel screw head on the hatch. It just blends in perfectly. All right, so we're going to do that to every hole that we made. Corners, they're all set in there. Now the reason that the corners are longer, like I said before, is these hooks that came with the cargo net. They have to come out a little bit more. Then we put a lock washer on there, and then this little acorn nut. Okay, I'll just hand tighten them down for now, and obviously don't crank down on these too much with the wrench. Oops. So again, just hand tighten. Just do all 4 corners. I got the 4 hand tightened in the corners, and I got an 8mm wrench and a Phillips head. We're just going to give that a little tighten there. Again, no need to go crazy on this. That's good. That's good. Alright, and the reason I went with the acorn nuts is, I mean, you could just use regular nuts, but it's nice with the acorn since it's rounded off here. It's not going to snag on anything. You know, if you got planos or clothes that you're going to put in there, it's not going to snag it and scratch it up. So, alright, I'm going to tighten these up, and we'll see you when I'm done. So, I put the lock washer on there, tighten this acorn nut. Again, I didn't want to really try to crank down on it and then strip the Phillips head. So, the problem that I'm having is that when it was all the way tight, this still had some play in it. It was kind of like this. Now it doesn't have to be super tight, but you don't really want it to move too much, too freely. Like that's pretty good. I could still move it if I needed to, but that pull from the bungee is not going to pull it down. The problem that I'm running into is I had these. I could only find these number 10 split washers. Split washers. They were out of the number 8 size. So what I'm going to do, and right here, I'm just going to double up on the washers here. So if you're looking at these bags, just make sure to just get the right size washer. Again, my store, they're out of the number 8, so I had to settle for the number 10. So right there, that solved it. So again, I could still adjust it, but it has just enough tension to hold that bungee without moving on. All right. Now this hole was factory drilled from Bonafide, and this is the cable clamp that was installed to hold this spectra cord in place. Now I'm going to be replacing with this one, and basically it's the screw is going to come through the side, same fashion. This is going to get clamped down, but on this side, it's going to hold the spectra cord and the cargo net in here. That way, you know, like I said, we're drilling one less hole, and I don't want holes all over the hatch. And so we're just repurposing this hole. Alrighty folks, we're all done. So we got all the hardware tightened up, we got the net. So one thing I did do a little differently is I added one more right down here. Reason for that was this is a little loose, and you want it to be loose. Because once you start packing this with gear, whatever you want to put in there, you need a little give. But I found that without this, things may have just, you know, they might fall out, but probably won't. Probably be fine without it. But just as an added measure, I put that extra piece there. So super easy. These just unclip up there, and then you want to grab whatever you want to stuff in there. I'm just showing you. You could stuff some planos in there if you like. I'm probably going to be putting my rain gear as well as a spare prop, maybe a tool kit or a first aid kit or something like that. But yeah, you see how easy that is. And again, I have a Bonafide 127, SS 127, but this will apply to any type of kayak that has a similar hatch opening like this. What you want to do is just make sure you get your measurements before, and then order the correct cargo style net. I think this entire project was just around 20 bucks with the net and the different pieces of hardware. And super easy, super simple, but very, very useful, I think. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my first DIY rigging video, but yeah, looking forward to using this. Thanks guys.